Good morning, students. Today in geography, we are going to learn lesson number 5, natural vegetation and wildlife. In this video, we are going to learn about natural vegetation, factors affecting flora and fauna, importance of forest, and change in nature of vegetation in India. Let's begin. First, we will start with natural vegetation. Okay. Now, what is natural vegetation? It is a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid. So, it is very clear, students. Natural vegetation is a plant community which has grown on its own, that is naturally, without any human help. I hope it is clear. The natural vegetation which is left undisturbed over a long period of time is called virgin vegetation. Now, what is virgin vegetation? It is the natural vegetation which is left undisturbed over a long period of time. Okay. Cultivated crops, fruits, orchards form part of vegetation but not natural vegetation. Okay, students, you need to remember this. Cultivated crops, fruits, orchards, they form the part of vegetation, no doubt, but they do not form part of natural vegetation. Okay. Now, virgin vegetation is classified into two groups. Okay, one is endemic species, the other one is exotic species. Now, let us learn more about endemic species and exotic species. Okay. Endemic or indigenous species. These plant species originated in India. And what about exotic species? These plant species are originated outside India. So, students, it is very clear. Endemic or indigenous species are the plant species which are originated in India. And what about exotic species? These are the plant species which are originated outside India. I hope it is clear. India has around 47,000 plant species. Due to this varied plant diversity, it occupies 10th place in the world and 4th in Asia continent. India has around 15,000 flowering plants, which account for 6% of the world's total number of the flowering plants. India also has many non-flowering plants, for example, ferns, algae and fungi. So students, if I ask you to name the plant species, so maybe you can name 50, 60 or 70. Just imagine our country India has around 47,000 plant species. And due to this varied plant diversity, it occupies 10th place in the world and 4th in Asia continent. And what about flowering plants? India has around 15,000 flowering plants, which account for 6% of the world's total number of the flowering plants. India not only has flowering plants but also non-flowering plants, example ferns, algae and fungi. Here in this image you can see flowering plants, and in this image you can see the non-flowering plants. I hope it is clear. Now let us talk about the factors responsible for the huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom. Okay, relief. Now what do you mean by relief? Relief means topography, that is landforms, right? So we will be learning about the components of relief, that is land and soil, which are responsible for the huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom. We'll be also studying about the climate and the elements of climate, that is temperature, photoperiod and precipitation, which are also responsible for the huge diversity in flora and fauna kingdom. Let's begin. We'll start with land. land affects natural vegetation directly and indirectly. The fertile level is generally devoted to agriculture. Now, you all know that agriculture takes place only in fertile land, isn't it? The undulating, that is uneven topography, and rough terrains are areas where grasslands and woodlands develop and give shelter to a variety of wildlife. Now, in uneven topography or in rough terrains, agriculture is not at all possible. Okay, so the undulating and rough terrains are the areas where grasslands and woodlands develop and they give shelter to a variety of wildlife. I hope it is clear, students. Now let us talk about soil. Different types of soils provide a basis for different types of vegetation. We have different types of soils, right? Black soil, alluvial soil, sandy soil, red soil, laterite soil, etc. And these different types of soils provide a basis for different types of vegetation. For example, cotton grows well in black soil. The sandy soils of the desert support cactus and thorny bushes, while wet, marshy, deltaic soils support mangroves and deltaic vegetation. The hill slopes with some depth of soil have conical trees. So, different types of soils provide a basis for different types of vegetation. Now, let us talk about temperature. The character and extent of vegetation are mainly determined by temperature, along with humidity in the air. Humidity means the amount of water vapor present in the air. Precipitation, that is rainfall, and soil. On the slopes of the Himalayas and the hills of the peninsula. Now the hills of the peninsula are the Aravalis, Vindhyas, Satpuras, Eastern and Western Ghats. Okay. So on the slopes of the Himalayas and the hills of the peninsula, above the height of 915 meters, the fall in the temperature affects the vegetation and its growth. And it also changes it from tropical to subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation. So it is very clear, students, the fall in the temperature, which means when the temperature is low, okay, it affects the vegetation and its growth and it changes it from tropical to subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation. I hope it is clear, students. Now here in this table, you can see the temperature characteristics of the vegetation zones. Under vegetation zones, we have tropical vegetation zones, subtropical, temperate and alpine vegetation zones. We will be studying about the mean annual average temperature as well as the mean temperature in January of all these vegetation zones. Okay. So first we will start with tropical. The mean annual average temperature of this zone is about 24 degrees Celsius and the mean temperature in January is about 18 degrees Celsius. Here we will find no frost. Now let's talk about the subtropical vegetation zones. The mean annual average temperature of subtropical vegetation zone is 17 degrees Celsius to 24 degrees Celsius. And the mean temperature in January is 10 degrees Celsius to 18 degrees Celsius. Here frost is rare. Now let's talk about temperate vegetation zones. The mean annual average temperature is 7 degrees Celsius to 17 degrees Celsius. And the mean temperature in January is minus 1 degree Celsius to minus 10 degrees Celsius. Here frost, some snow. Okay. Now let's talk about the alpine vegetation zones. The mean annual average temperature is below 7 degrees Celsius and the mean temperature in January is below minus 1 degree Celsius and here you find snow. So I hope you have understood that the fall in the temperature affects the vegetation and its growth. Okay. Now let us talk about sunlight. Photoperiod, which means sunlight. The variation in the duration of sunlight at different places is due to the differences in latitude, altitude, season and duration of the day. First, let us learn about latitude. Students, you will find the equator to be the hottest place, right? Why is it so? Because the sun rays fall perpendicular over this region and the intensity of heat received from the sun is more in this region. And as we go away from the equator, the intensity of heat decreases. I hope it is clear. So, the variation in the duration of sunlight at different places is due to the differences in latitude, altitude. Now, altitude is the height above the sea level. Students, most of the time during summer season, people prefer to go to hill stations, right? Why? Because in hill stations, you will find cool climate. Students, you must be aware that as the height increases, the temperature decreases, isn't it? Hence, we find cool climate in the hill stations. Now, let's talk about season. Now, in summer season, you will have longer duration of sunlight compared to the winter season, isn't it? And what about the duration of the day? If the duration of the day is longer, of course, the duration of sunlight also will be longer. So, I hope it is clear. Due to the longer duration of sunlight, trees grow faster in summer. So you must be thinking, why is during summer season the trees grow faster? It's because of the longer duration of sunlight. Okay. The southern slopes of the Himalayas are covered with thick vegetation than the northern slopes. Students, why is it so? Because the southern slopes of Himalayas get more amount of sunlight compared to the northern slopes of Himalayas. Okay, once again, the southern slopes of the Himalayas are covered with thick vegetation than the northern slopes due to more availability of sunlight. Okay, now let us talk about precipitation. Areas of heavy rainfall have more dense vegetation as compared to areas of less rainfall. Isn't it, students? The areas where we have heavy rainfall, there you find dense vegetation, and the areas where you have scanty rainfall like Rajasthan, there you find less vegetation. Now one more example is given. The southwest monsoon rains on the western slopes, that is windward side of the Western Ghats, causes heavy growth of tropical evergreen forest. And on the other hand, the eastern slopes, that is the leeward side, do not have any such forest. Students, here in this image, you can see the western slope, that is the windward side of the Western Ghats, as well as the eastern slope of Western Ghats, that is the leeward side. Now, you will find thick evergreen forest towards the western slopes of Western Ghats as it receives more rainfall compared to that of the eastern slopes. So, you must be thorough with this concept. Okay. Now, if I ask you why there is thick evergreen forest towards the western slope of Western Ghats, you should be able to answer. Yes, because you have more rainfall towards the western slope compared to the eastern slope of Western Ghats. Now let us talk about the importance of forest. Now you all must be aware about the importance of forest, isn't it? Let us discuss. Forests play a major role in enhancing the quality of environment. Forests modify local climate, reduce soil erosion, regulate stream flow, provide raw material for the industries, and livelihood for many communities. So forests modify local climate, soil erosion is reduced, right? They regulate stream flow, and most of the industries are dependent on forest for their raw materials. And you all must be knowing that most of the Adivasis, okay, the tribal people, those who live in forest, for them the main source of livelihood is forest, isn't it? They collect wood, they collect honey, okay, they also collect fruits and all, and they sell it in the local market. So forests provide livelihood for many communities. They also offer panoramic or scenic view for recreation. The wind force is controlled, temperature is controlled. Forests also cause rainfall. Not only these, students, forests also provide humus to soil, that adds fertility to the soil, as well as provide shelter to the wildlife. Okay. Now let us discuss about the change in the nature of vegetation in India. Factors like a growing demand for cultivated land, development of industries and mining, urbanization, and overgrazing of pastures have changed natural vegetation of India. Students, you all must be knowing that day by day the forests are diminishing due to urbanization. Okay. Factors like growing demand for cultivated land, development of industries and mining, urbanization, and overgrazing of pastures have changed the natural vegetation of India. The vegetation cover of India in large parts is no more natural in the real sense, except in some inaccessible regions. Inaccessible regions are the regions where it is impossible to reach, like the Himalayas, the hilly region of central India, and the Marusthali, where the vegetation is still natural. Okay, so I hope you have understood the concept, whatever we have learned today. Now it's time for quiz. I hope you all are ready for the quiz. Question number 1. Which term is used to denote animal species of a particular region? Option A, fauna. Option B, ferns. Option C, flora. Option D, none of these. Yes, students? Which term is used to denote animal species of a particular region? Yes, it is option A, fauna. Very good. Now let us move on to the next question. How do forests influence the climate of a place? Option A, modify local climate. Option B, control wind force and temperature. Option C, cause rainfall. Option D, all the above. Yes, which is the correct answer? Yes, it is option D, all the above. Very good. Now let us move on to the next question. Which type of vegetation grows in the sandy soil of the desert? Option A, coniferous trees. Option B, grasslands. Option C, cactus and thorny bushes. Option D, none of these. Yes, which is the correct one? Yes, it is option D, none of these. Very good. Now students, let us do a short recap. Today in this video, we have learnt about natural vegetation, factors affecting flora and fauna, importance of forest, and the change in nature of vegetation in India. Hope you have understood all the topics covered today. The remaining topics will be covering in our next video. Till then, bye and take care.